Good morning, students, and welcome to your computer class. Well, it is the second revision video of our first chapter, that is computer networking. Well, till now we have discussed about the basic concepts of networking along with some important terms. Now let's start. Today we have to discuss about networking devices. Well, generally whenever we talk about a network, the most important thing for establishing a network is all the devices which are required in our computers. So one by one we have to discuss about all the components which must have to be in our computers so that we can connect our computers with the network. The first and the most important component which is required for being in a network or in internet is modem. This modem is one of the most important component which is mostly available or it is pre-installed in our mobile phones, laptops and all the smart phones and smart tablets. But this component is not available in our PCs. So we have to plug in a modem in our PC so that we can make it eligible enough to be a part of a network. Well, this term modem stands for modulator and demodulator. Fine. It converts the digital signal into analog signals and vice versa. Well, generally whatever we type in our computer, that data is in a digital signal. And for converting that digital signal to a network readable form, the first part of modem, that is termed as modulator, it is used. So this first component of modem converts our digital signals into the analog form, and then these analog signals are sent over the network. In the network, all these signals are captured by the receiving computer, and then in the receiver's edge, the modem of receiver tackle that data with this demodulator part, where this demodulator again convert that analog signal back to the digital form. Well, once this data is converted to the digital form, then computers can easily read it and they can easily share or communicate with each other with the help of this modulator and demodulator of the modem. In general, these modems are of two types. These two categories are internal modems and external modems. So all the modems which are pre-installed in our computers or in our laptops or smartphones, these modems are termed as internal modem, whereas all the modems that we have to connect externally with our devices, these are termed as external modem. Well, over here we have a image of internal modem that you can plug inside your computer system, whereas over this side we have an image of external modem. Now let's move to our second topic, or the second networking device. Well, we have two devices over here, that is hub or switch. Generally these hub or switch behaves similarly, but they have some changes, they have some differences. Well, whenever we have to connect our computers in a local network, that is a network which has a very limited area, for that we can use these hubs or switches. Here this hub is a central device that connects all the computers and manages the flow of data across network. In this hub, the network bandwidth or the data transmission speed is equally divided in between all the computers. Whereas in switch, this bandwidth is not equally divided, whereas the data transmission speed can be increased for any particular computer. Next we have routers or gateways. Well, router is a device which is used to route different parts of a network. Well, generally whenever we have to connect our local area network with internet or with any other networking component, we can use this router. This router is just like a modem, but it helps us to connect our computers with the network with internet by using some wireless mediums also. Generally, this router is used in wide area network to connect computers of a particular range. Fine. Then next we have gateway. Well, this gateway is a special type of device through which we can connect two or more networks, and then we can share data or information between various networks. Well, this gateway is a device which is mostly used in telecommunications for telecommunication networks that allow data to flow from one discrete network to another. It means this gateway works as a bridge between two different networks. Then next we have some important rules or terms. Well, now this protocol is a separate definition. It is not a part of our networking devices, but these protocols are the rules or the methods which define our networks, and they set some standards for the networking. Well, data transfer on a network involves communication between client and the server system. Fine. Now, you might have found that whenever we talk to our teachers or our elders, we have to follow some moral principles. Similarly, when two computers are communicating with each other on internet, then they have to follow some rules. So, the set of rules or set of standards which are used by these two computers to make the communication possible in a network, these rules are termed as protocols. Generally, we have various types of protocols available, and these protocols can be used on internet for their various operations. We have to discuss about these few basic protocols, each in detail. Our first protocol is HTTP, then next is HTTPS, then third is TCPIP, then next we have FTP, then we have IMAP, and then we have SMTP. We have to start with our first term, that is HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Well, this Hypertext Transfer Protocol is generally used whenever we have to share web pages. Fine. It is generally used to share pages with the computers. Now, in a normal communication system, whenever we are using our computers to search something on web, our computer is termed as a client computer, and that computer or that machine which is on internet, that is termed as a server. So, in this HTTP network or in this particular networking, when we request something from a server, that request is generally accepted and managed by these HTTP protocols only. This HTTP is generally used in combination with World Wide Web so that all these hypertext documents can be accessed very easily. In this HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which means it will help you to share all the web pages from one system to another in a network. Next we have HTTPS. Well, generally all the websites that we are using, these websites use either this HTTP or this HTTPS. Now let's talk about a banking website where you can perform a banking transaction. Well, when we perform any banking or any monetary transaction, our data is very important and we have to keep it very secure over there. Then to maintain this data security, instead of using this HTTP, we can use a HTTPS. This HTTPS is a secured or an encrypted version of HTTP. Generally in HTTP, every data is in the form of plain text. It means this data can easily be seen or fetched by any person if he knows the techniques. Whereas in HTTPS, everything is encrypted. And that's why when this data is generally hacked by the hackers, then it is for no use for them. Our next term is TCP or IP. Well, in internet we cannot only share or view two pages. Sometimes we have to send some files from one PC to another, and for being in a network we must have a proper location or address on a network. So for sharing files, for accessing files, and for managing our devices, we or our computers generally follow this TCP/IP protocol rule. This TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. This transmission control protocol and internet protocol are generally used for sharing of data from one machine to another, along with that user authentication. This TCP generally fetches our data and then it converts or breaks it into some equal sized packets. Then all these equal sized packets are properly arranged into separate files, and then all these separate packets are sent to the receiver. Well, this IP or internet protocol generally applies or assigns the addresses of destination computer in each of these packets, and then it again route these packets back to that particular computer. In the receiving edge, when all these packets are received, first IP protocol in the receiving edge checks for the user's authentication. After that, the data is also authenticated, and then all these packets are fetched by TCP. Then in the receiver's edge, this TCP fetch all the packets and then it combines them or merge them to create a single plain file. Fine. So this is how any data file is generally transferred over internet. So it was all about our basic protocols. In our next class, we have to discuss about the remaining 3 protocols. Along with that, we have to discuss about network topologies. Till then, keep learning, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep supporting us. Thanks for watching this video.